You're watching News Channel 4 at 10, the news leader.
A packed courtroom, an entire city waiting for a verdict.
Count 1, sexual battery. Defendant is guilty. Count 4, defendant is guilty. Count 5, guilty, guilty, guilty.
A former police officer breaks down sobbing as a jury finds him guilty of unspeakable crimes against women.
Boy, drama inside the courtroom and outside. Praying, singing, crying as a jury found former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw guilty on 18 of 36 counts.
As you can see, we have team coverage, including expert analysis on what happened inside the courtroom today.
But let's start with News Channel 4's Leslie Rangel. She was in the courtroom when the verdict was read. High drama there, Les.
Oh, yes, it was, Kevin, and I can tell you very, very emotional from all parts of the people in that courtroom. Now, the jury, members of the jury crying, supporters of victims crying, holding each other, hoping for justice, and Holtzclaw himself sitting in his chair, rocking back and forth, waiting for his fate after 4 days of jury deliberation. Inside the courtroom, Daniel Holtzclaw sat looking somber and started sobbing as the judge began reading the jury's verdict. The former Oklahoma City police officer found guilty on 18 of 36 charges of sexual assault, totaling 263 years. 18 of those charges he was found not guilty.
We didn't prove those cases beyond a reasonable doubt. Doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't believe the victims. It may mean that we didn't meet our burden in those counts.
But the district attorney says do not blame that on the victims.
I want that to be clear. It doesn't mean that they didn't believe the victims.
As the judge moved through each count, Holtzclaw sobbed emotionally. At times, his family had loud outbursts. And as the judge read the last few charges, Holtzclaw continued to cry.
And we're going to ask the judge to make sure that this defendant never sees the light of day, and we're going to ask him to run consecutive every count.
He stood up, shook his head towards his family, mouthing, "I didn't do it." As he walked out, he stared down members of the jury. This all on his 29th birthday. Now, again, the 263 years are only a recommendation from the jury. A formal sentencing hearing is set for January 21st at 10 a.m. Reporting live at the Oklahoma County Courthouse, Leslie Rangel, News Channel 4.
News Channel 4's Kristen Shanahan was outside the courtroom when the verdict was read.
And Kristen, people there, as we saw, highly emotional inside and out.
They definitely were. I can tell you that there were tears of both joy and sadness here tonight. We spoke to victims' families and their supporters. Some say justice was served. Others don't feel that way. As Daniel Holtzclaw walked out of the courtroom in tears, others were singing happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday to you. Yes.
Women feel justice has been served.
This is what we waited patiently for, knowing that the outcome would be this. I mean, the years, you might as well say life. You know, with what he was given, the number of years he was given, so.
But outside the courthouse, a victim's mother said she wasn't satisfied.
Sure that they're going to try to run it together so he won't see nothing but 30 years. And that's not fair to us. It's not fair to my daughter. It's not fair to any of the victims or the people of our community.
Some say true justice will only come if Holtzclaw spends the rest of his life in prison.
So now we wait for the formal sentencing, and we can move forward. We can try to move forward and deal with some additional questions about the police department, monitoring other officers, but this had to be done first.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Amen. Now, after the verdict was read, there was some drama, but it was pretty peaceful inside the courthouse. Out here tonight, as you can see and hear, it's quiet. Reporting live in downtown Oklahoma City, Kristen Shanahan, News Channel 4.
Kristen, thank you very much. This highly emotional, complicated case has been in the news for more than 5 weeks. 13 victims, 36 counts. Legal analyst Jackie Ford joins us now. 263 years. Will he serve 263 years?
That's really dependent upon Judge Henderson's decision. It's very likely that Judge Henderson will run many, if not all, of these counts consecutively. He's the only person that has the final call, but Oklahoma is one of only, I think, 7 states that permit juries to to render a verdict with respect to punishment. And for a judge to upset a jury verdict in that way is very, very uncommon in Oklahoma.
So the jury carries some responsibility here and actually some weight.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we charge them with the duty of assessing punishment, and then to have them do that and do it as diligently as this jury did in this case. I mean, they've deliberated for 4 days. And you have to imagine that a lot of that time was dedicated to assessing what they believe to be fair punishment on each and every count that they convicted him of. So to charge them with that duty, allow them to do it, and then to take away that power is very, very uncommon. It may be that Judge Henderson decides to run some of the counts together. Sometimes we see judges, maybe they will look at the counts that deal with one victim, and maybe those counts may all run concurrently. But it's very likely that a number of those counts are going to run consecutive. And these counts, many of them are 85%, which means he will not be eligible for early release. This concern that the sentence will not be what it sounds like it is, I think it'll be very much what it sounds like it is. And I think it'll be very unlikely that Mr. Holtzclaw will ever breathe another breath of free air.
There will be a pre-sentencing hearing between the defense and the prosecution. Now, if you watch the video, let me show you the video of Holtzclaw after the verdicts were read. He walks toward the jury and mouths what appears to be, "I didn't do it." You see him shake his head. Now listen, we'll do it again. See if you can hear him. He's sobbing, but it appears he's saying, "I didn't do it." Now, during these pre-sentencing hearings, he can show remorse, and that will sometimes help a suspect. But in this case, if he's saying he didn't do it, then can he come back and say, "I'm sorry"?
It would be rather disingenuous, wouldn't it? You know, maintaining a not guilty verdict and asking the state to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, there's nothing really offensive about that. That's what our system is set up and designed to do. We should not punish defendants for exercising their right to a jury trial.
Right.
But once the jury's rendered their verdict, if Mr. Holtzclaw is expecting any kind of mercy from the court, you would expect that he would refrain from that kind of behavior, looking at the jury and basically telling them they got it wrong. It would be very difficult for him to come in later and then ask this court for mercy. In order to ask for mercy, he needs to take some responsibility and ask for remorse and show some remorse to seek that grace.
Jackie Ford, our legal analyst, thank you very much. And we just got this statement from the Oklahoma City Police Department. It says, quote, "The Oklahoma City Police Department is pleased with the jury's decision regarding the Daniel Holtzclaw trial. It was a long and difficult trial and deliberation process for all involved. It's obvious the jury took their responsibilities very seriously and considered every piece of evidence presented to them. We're proud of our detectives and prosecutors for a job well done. To the jury, we thank you for your service. We are satisfied with the jury's decision and firmly believe justice was served." For complete coverage of tonight's highly emotional verdict, head over to our website, KFOR.com.
Elsewhere tonight, a local woman fighting to get her husband's remains back. She says she's tried for more than a month to get the remains, but couldn't pay, so she was told no. News Channel 4's Kristen Shanahan, she's been busy, got on the case to sort it all out.
37 years is a long time. He deserves so much more.
Tears spill when Vicki Barton remembers her husband, Arthur Wayne. The 61-year-old died in a Norman hospital on October 24th. At the time, Vicki was in jail and didn't get to tell him goodbye.
My son went up and talked to the judge, and they released me. And I got out, and on the ride home, I told my son I wanted to see Daddy.
Vicki says the hospital directed her to an out-of-state cremation provider. When she asked about seeing her husband's body, she says she didn't like what she heard.
That it was going to be a $95 charge for me to view him, and I would be able to view him through glass. And I told her, oh no, that's not going to work.
Then when she inquired about where her husband's body was, she says she couldn't get a straight answer. Vicki claims the third-party business said she couldn't see him until she paid a nearly $1,700 bill. That's until we got involved Thursday. Here I am talking with the cremation provider. Where is Mr. Barton's remains?
He's actually at the Oklahoma mortuary.
He said his company paid for the cremation and turned Vicki over to collections. The Barton family says they're just glad they are getting closure.
I deserve closure. I'd like my dad to rest in peace, you know.
And I want his ashes, you know, we made promises to each other, and he wanted to be in Colorado, and I'd like to. Me and the kids go to Colorado and put their daddy, where he wanted to be.
Now, the Oklahoma mortuary did confirm Arthur's ashes are there. The Barton family plans to get in touch with the facility tomorrow to see about picking them up.
Well, in McLeod, Oklahoma, they're accustomed to fights on the court or in the fields. But tonight's fight is playing out at the school board, and it's all because of the mascot, a redskin. Something some say is offensive and needs to be changed. News Channel 4's Lauren Fultonberg is on the night beat. He's live in McLeod. And Lauren, both sides were very vocal tonight.
Yeah, Linda, and they both came out in force for a battle over this mascot and this name, the Redskins, which has been the standard here in McLeod for generations. This is a small town, so the Board of Education is a small facility, and so many people showed up that some had to wait outside, just peering through the blinds, through the window, trying to see the heated discussion. Pride or prejudice? It's never really been a question in McLeod, Oklahoma, home of the Redskins. That is, until now.
Everyone's really trying to fight for this.
The people in McLeod wear their red with pride, and they'll tell you they always have.
They got a lot of history. That McLeod Redskin, I don't know of anybody around here that objects to being a Redskin. If there is, I don't know about it.
Thursday night, Albert Baldwin found out.
I was brought in to teach a geography class because students in that class were referred to as dumb Redskins, subhuman, less than. That it was a problem.
The name and mascot, long respected and loved, called into question by Native Americans in front of a packed house.
It is not an honor, and racism should not be up for popular vote.
But the people of McLeod fought back. Generations of Redskins, backed by the Kickapoo tribe, united.
Redskins is an honorable name.
We are very proud of our Redskins and have never thought of the name being derogatory or insulting.
And ultimately, the board sided with its people, preserving a tradition increasingly called into question. Now, 3 members of the Board of Education voted for this measure outright to keep the mascot. A 4th abstained because she thinks it should be to a vote of the people to decide. We're live tonight in McLeod. Lauren Fultonberg, News Channel 4.
Next in weather.
High temperatures across our state near record levels again today. We are 72 here in Oklahoma City. Changes, though, are now rapidly approaching our state. This is a major storm. How will it affect your Friday and your weekend? On that timeline, some Oklahomans will see a bit of snow. That's next.
And fighting back after earthquake damage.
This is the worst area right here.
The local attorney's looking to clear the way for homeowners to get help. That's next. Pay up. That's what some Oklahomans want to happen after they say their homes were damaged by earthquakes. Attorneys are looking for people in Coyle, Stillwater, and Guthrie to join what may become a class action lawsuit. News Channel 4's Leslie Rangel has more details.
This is the worst area right here.
Cracks everywhere, what many Oklahomans have learned to live with.
Even the sheetrock is splitting just in the middle of the sheetrock. That's what this crack here is.
And with every quake, some people say the cracks get bigger and bigger.
Where the wall is joined together in this corner, it's shifted this way so that the sheetrock no longer lines up.
Shifts in lives, a team of lawyers want to help straighten.
That's what we do best as Oklahomans. We help each other out, and in times of trouble like this, we try to help each other.
There's no legal plan yet, but they're ready to move that way. You'll remember early this summer, the Oklahoma Supreme Court cleared the way for homeowners to sue oil companies for property damage.
We had a huge pile of bricks.
2 Prague women fighting for oil giants to take responsibility.
Really, right now, we're just trying to figure out what's going on with the earthquakes and if damage is being caused, obviously who's responsible for it.
This right here is earthquake damage because it goes up and then curves along the line.
People have taken out earthquake insurance, or if they've been denied a claim because they thought they had earthquake insurance, have those claims been filed right, denied properly or improperly?
The beginning of a long journey. Some Oklahomans are ready to start.
So this building would be irreplaceable.
In Coyle, Leslie Rangel, News Channel 4.
Well, there is a meeting planned for this Friday, tomorrow at 3:30 at St. Francis of the Woods to answer questions about earthquake damages and insurance policies.
Tonight's Forewarned forecast is sponsored by Eskridge Auto Group. Now, here's Oklahoma's leading meteorologist, the Forewarned Storm Team's Mike Morgan.
You know, during the 6 o'clock newscast, we showed a video from Bob Moore Chopper 4 and John Welsh of our Oklahoma sunset. So we thought tonight we'd show you some Facebook photos here coming into our Facebook pages from April 64. And that is one gorgeous Oklahoma sunset this evening. And from OK Chick here, over the water here, just spectacular. How many days in a row have we had fantastic sunsets? And tonight was just another great example of that. Skies are fair, mostly cloudy, high thin cirrus cloud cover outside. Our temperature 52 degrees. The winds, they're light and variable. Southwest at 3. 43 was our morning low. The daytime high today up to 72. Record high 75 in 1996. So high cloud cover is spilling quietly over our heads tonight in from the northwest in advance of this major system now making landfall in the Pacific Northwest with hurricane force winds in the higher elevations and some real heavy rain, squalls, snow showers moving onshore. And the energy here is transferring to the southern portion of this storm trough now, which is important for Oklahoma. This is the old center of low pressure, a new center forming down here to the south, as that will travel directly over Oklahoma and even Oklahoma City coming up this weekend. So expect some pretty rapidly changing weather this weekend. I'm going to break that down for you. There's just a little bit of cold air now finally coming out of Canada. Not much, but Minot, North Dakota is 29 right now, and that may play a little role in getting a bit of snow for parts of our state this weekend. Not everybody, just a few of us will see some snow. 44, our low temperature tonight, though it'll be dry, and we'll have a cool morning, and it'll be another very mild to almost warm afternoon, mostly sunny skies, and gradually tomorrow south winds will slowly but surely kick in beginning in the morning in response to that approaching upper level storm trough as it moves in toward the weekend. So here is late tomorrow afternoon. Not a problem here. Temperatures at least 70, 71 degrees throughout a good part of Oklahoma. As we head toward Friday evening, Friday night, it'll stay mild. South winds continue pretty strong. Cloud cover thickens up. And then here comes the action. 4 p.m. Saturday. 2 areas of thunderstorms. Some could be severe. Both these areas. One develops near Ardmore up toward Shawnee and Ada and Okemah. The second area is in western Oklahoma here ahead of a dry line, cold front, and a strengthening area of low pressure. And that will gradually develop and push toward Oklahoma City by late Saturday evening, overnight Saturday night. Heavy rainfall with this line, more spotty rain and thunderstorms with that western line. Sunday morning should have some showers around briefly before the cold front barrels on in. Here comes the wraparound, driving northwesterly winds Sunday afternoon, and temperatures just cold enough to get some heavy, wet snow in northwestern Oklahoma on Sunday. And I'll show you those snowfall totals coming up. 39 Enid tonight, 39 Ponca City, 39 Stillwater, 44 here in Oklahoma City, and upper 60s to mid 70s for tomorrow. A breezy south wind, partly sunny, near record highs again for your Friday. Friday evening also looks very nice. These are rain chances late in the day Saturday, primarily Saturday sunset into Saturday night. Moderate probability, high probability, close to 100% in Oklahoma City. Saturday's highs upper 60s and low 70s. And there's your risk for severe weather late in the day Saturday and Saturday night. Tornado chance is not zero, but it is quite low. So we'll keep close track of that. 75-mile-an-hour winds and nickel-size hail. Rainfall totals from 1/10 of an inch to over 2.5 inches. The heavy rain in eastern Oklahoma, 4/10 of an inch of rain in Oklahoma City Saturday night. And Sunday, 47 degrees and snow in northwestern Oklahoma. Some snow accumulations in the Panhandle. And there could be a couple inches in the grassy surfaces up around the Alva Woodward area Sunday as well. Oklahoma City, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain Saturday night. And then Sunday does look chillier, a high of 47 with a few rain showers. That system rather kicks on out, guys. Sunshine Monday and Tuesday, upper 50s, and then cooler weather Wednesday and Thursday. Back to you.
Thank you, Mike. A Sooner player doesn't plan to be wearing an OU uniform next season. Brian's going to have more.
Right, and the Thunder are looking for a little revenge tonight at home against a team that beat them a few days ago. It's next.
Now sports with Brian Brinkley.
The Oklahoma City Thunder suffered a stinging loss to the Atlanta Hawks 10 days ago in Georgia with another fourth quarter collapse. It didn't take long for OKC to get their shot at revenge, though. Atlanta was in town tonight for the rematch, and the Thunder didn't want to get mad. They wanted to get even. Billy Donovan and Russell Westbrook making sure they were on the same page, and the Thunder were this time around against the Hawks. OKC went on a 13-0 run in the first quarter to take the lead. 9 of those 13 coming from Serge Ibaka, including the 3. He had 23 points and 10 rebounds, and OKC never trailed after that. Westbrook with a pass to Kevin Durant. Watch this, the blind layup as he's falling backward. KD with a triple-double, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and he clinched the triple-double with this assist to Westbrook for the 3. Westbrook had 23 points and 10 assists. 3 Thunder players had double-doubles, and OKC won it 107-94.
So I just try to switch the game up and get Serge open, get Russ shots, get Steven shots, and I think it's contagious, when your top guys do that. So Russell did a great job of setting the tone, and I was able to get some, be aggressive and make some plays, and it opened it up for me at the end of the game.
And the Thunder at Utah tomorrow night. Oklahoma quarterback Trevor Knight is going to transfer and has been granted a full release by OU and head coach Bob Stoops. Soonerscoop.com first reported the story. Knight is expected to graduate this semester, and he could transfer to another school in the spring and play next season. He's reportedly considering Kansas State, Oregon, SMU, and Georgia. The QB who beat out Knight, Baker Mayfield, was a finalist for the Walter Camp Award and Davey O'Brien Award. Both awards were announced tonight. Mayfield didn't win either one, but he was named first-team All-America by the Walter Camp Foundation, the oldest All-America honor there is. 2 other state players were named to the second team. OU defensive back Zach Sanchez and OSU defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah, both named second team Walter Camp All-Americans. That is an impressive honor for all 3 of those young men. Former Sooner head coach Barry Switzer was honored at the College Football Award show tonight. Switzer won the National College Football Awards Association's Contributions to College Football Award.
I won a lot of football games and had a great career at Oklahoma, and it's because of a lot of great athletes and great coaches, and they all made it happen. And then after football for me, Jerry called one day. I had 4 years at Dallas, did my tour there, won a Super Bowl, inherited 2 great teams. I inherited great products at Oklahoma, and it was great to be able to have that to sell to outstanding players around the country.
And Barry said his best team ever, coaching Special Olympians for more than 40 years. Also at the College Football Award show, Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin announced the winner of the Jim Thorpe Award, the nation's top defensive back. Desmond King of Iowa is the winner. He's the first Hawkeye to ever win that award. It's in its 30th season now. King will receive the award at a banquet here in OKC on February 2nd. And now it is time for Linda and Kevin to make their predictions in our Ford Pro Football Challenge every Thursday night. You pick the winners of the Sunday night game on NBC.
Somebody does.
We try. There we go. Okay, we have the New England Patriots versus the Houston Texans. I'm going with the Patriots because they'll be hungry for a win after losing to Sam Bradford and the Eagles last weekend.
And I'm going to go with Houston because star defensive linebacker J.J. Watt is still going to play, even though he has a broken hand, and he's going to be in a bad mood, so look out for him. Last week, I was the winner, and for the year so far, Linda still has the lead with 9 wins to 5.
We invite you to play along. Just head over to KFOR.com/football. You'll have a chance to win a trip for 2. Next. Have a good night.
Good night.